Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here with Macho and I. Today's video will be something super new. I want to try sharing some story time dating stories. Girl, if this gets good feedback, then I will definitely get into the juicier ones, because I got a lot to share when it comes to dating. I'm not gonna lie. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the vibe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Please and thank you. So if you don't know anything about me, my type is healthy, older, masculine men. The more that I understand anthropology and how humans work, I just feel like it's the most natural for me to gravitate to that. They like me and I like them. That's the end of the story. All right, so really, let's get into it. I'm gonna call this man Max. This is the story of Max and I. And trust me, I have more stories with other men that are not Max, but if you guys like this, then let me know and I'll share some more other stories with other people. So how do I know Max? I know Max because I went to the club one night, I was just busting it down at the club. No, I went to the club one night and everyone, my friends were going or whatever, and he was the husband, ex ? Of a friend who also happened to be a bartender at that club. So I don't think she was working that night. I don't think the bartender was working that night. Let's call her Jean. She's also relevant to the story. So Jean, she was off that night. She came with her boo thing or whatever, husband / ex, like situationship, right? Yeah, they went to the club. I was at the club. I had, I'm gonna paint the picture for you. So I had some thigh-high knee socks, but it was thigh-high socks, I think. And I had nice heels on, really tall heels, I'm not gonna lie, and a really skinny black dress. It was very tight, cute. That was my outfit, super fun, and that's what got his attention that night. So this is my first time meeting Max. I'm at the club, whatever, we're all getting along, we're vibing, and man, off the bat, this man is a talker. Like, he's just talking my ear off, and I don't even have to say anything because he just be talking. Like, you ever meet those people where it's just like they will have a whole conversation with themselves the whole time? Like, you don't have to do anything because they just know how to entertain themselves and keep the conversation themselves. Like, they don't need you. So that is that type of man. Max could just, él habla y habla y habla y habla y habla. Like, he's just going and going and going. So I'm getting bored of this man. Whatever, we're at the bar. No, we're not at the bar. We're like at the VIP section. He's sitting next to Jean. Girl, I really like Jean, okay? I've been to this club before. I like her. We have a good relationship. Like, we were bonding. Like, I thought we were friends. So yeah, I thought she was cool. I thought she was really pretty too. Like, I thought she was really, really pretty. She was nice to me. Like, this era of me, I was bald, babe. Like, I was just buzzing my hair because why the fuck not? So that was during my bald era, so I had a buzz cut. And she was just really sweet to me. Like, she's like, oh, you're so pretty, like, you can, even only you, whatever, like, only you can pull off a buzz cut, and you just do it so well, and things like that. Like, what's your nationality? You know what I mean? So I thought we were cool. I thought we were all cool. Whatever. So we're having a good time. That night, I find out that I'm not surprised given the people that I was with, honestly, but they like a little something. They like to, if you get it, you can get it. But yeah, so that's personally not my thing, but that's something that stood out to me about him. And he's like, oh yeah, like, I'm not really into all this and I'm not like a part of the scene that much, but Jean was the one who really introduced me, and like, why not, every once in a while, whatever. Fast forward to that night, I get kicked out of the club because someone felt threatened that I was there. They just made up an excuse saying that they felt unsafe that I was there. I was beefing with this girl at the time, and she thought I was gonna beat her up because I was at the club. Baby, I look too good to fight right now. It's not about you. But she made it about her. So I got kicked out of the club. I had to go home. I didn't go to my house. I went back to my friend's house. All right, so it's like 2 a.m. or whatever. Everyone gets back from the club, and we're all vibing, okay? We're all vibing. All of us. And so Max starts gravitating towards me on the couch. Yeah, he chooses to sit closer to me, whatever, things like that. I guess while they were at the club or whatever, Max mentions to Jean that he wants to take me home, question mark? He asked, okay, all right, like, it gets deeper than that. So the friend's house that I'm staying at, I had a situationship with them as well. So I'm staying at my friend's house. The friend's house that I was staying at, let's call him Brad. So I'm staying at Brad's house, right? Max asks Brad if he can invite me over to their place. Does that make sense to you? Babe, I'm not even into Brad like that. Like, honestly, the only reason why I was into Brad is FOMO. Because that man was for the streets, babe. That man was for the streets. So the only reason why I was even kind of interested in Brad was because everyone else was interested in Brad. So it's like, if he's not interested in me, like, what the fuck am I missing? You know what I mean? So, but Max knows that there's like some dynamic going on between us. So he asked Brad, like, hey, are you seeing her? Like, what's the deal? Like, can I? Brad also, he's old as fuck. Did I tell you Max's age? Brad was 40. Max is 45. I don't know if I mentioned that. So, and I'm over here just living my lovely lady life. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't believe I'm sharing this shit. So yeah, that's still just like, what? And so first, Max asks Brad, and Brad's like, no, like, it's cool, like, whatever, like, you do whatever you want to do, like, you got it. And so, you know, after everyone gets back from the club, and I'm at Brad's house, and everyone comes back to Brad's house, we're all just chilling, smoking, whatever, you know, he starts asking me, like, I went to the bathroom, I think, and then he, like, caught me in the corner, and he was like, so, what do you think about going home with Jean and I tonight? And I was like, I turned it down. I was like, thank you so much, like, that's really sweet, but like, tonight's not a good night. I don't know really why I said no, but it was not the time. And so yeah, I just turned him down. Cool, he was fine with that. He got my number though, and so we started texting. So fast forward, we were talking a little bit, and he asked me out on a date. This date I wouldn't do again, honestly. Like, it was just an easy date. Sure, like, he was fine, he's a good guy or whatever, but it was just like convenient for him. I went out of my way to go see him. You know, these are the lessons that I'm trying to teach you ladies. So yeah, like, I drove out of my way to go see him. Not out of my way, but like, he was on his lunch break, so he needed to go back to work after. I was still working, honestly, but I was like, let me just make a detour. On my way, either back from the date or to the date, I saw my boss's car, and we had very recognizable cars with, because he had his brand on it, and I was driving a company vehicle that also had his brand on it, so that scared the shit out of me. So whatever, he invites me out. We went to like pizza or whatever. It was easy, just to get like to know each other a little bit more, spend more time with each other. He starts telling me things about Jean and his relationship with Jean, because you know, like, I wasn't sure what the fuck was going on with them, and honestly, he wasn't sure what the fuck was going on with them. But here's the catch, like, Mans has one child. I think he had like a 16, 18-year-old someone. That child was, I guess, another woman, and then he had like a baby with Jean. And so that baby was like, I don't even know, I think less than 3 years old. And so, but Jean also had another child. I don't think it was his child. So he had another child from someone else, and then they had that baby together, and then she also had a child from someone else. Kind of relevant. And so he's telling me how Jean isn't really who she says she is, and like, living together is awkward for them, and like, he does his best to make it work, but she's really hooked into some things that she really shouldn't be into, and it affects her mood because she's addicted. If you want to know, she's addicted to MDMA, babe. Like, I'm gonna get into it. That's none of my business, girl. So yeah, like, she's just hooked on some shit. She microdoses MDMA. She's in a situationship with her plug, so she gets it on the low, or he just gives it to her. I don't even know how it worked, really, but that really affected their relationship, because when she's not on it, she's like a different person. And I'm sorry, but should you really be microdosing MDMA, babe? Like, I don't know that much, but I don't know if it's a good idea to be messing with your brain chemicals like that. So he's just telling me all this shit, and then I start telling him about Brad, and I'm like, yeah, this is what's going on behind the scenes over here, buddy. Like, Brad this and Brad that and Brad. And listen, yo, it gets deep. So he's telling me how Jean mentions to Max, so the wife or whatever mentions to her husband or whatever, the guy that's interested in me, how Brad asked Jean to be a part of like a throuple polyamorous relationship, and that's what they had going on. Brad and his wife and some other people involved, they were into polyamory. So if you don't know what that means, that's like having multiple relationships with multiple people. And so Brad asked Jean Brad asked Jean if she wanted to be Brad's girlfriend alongside Brad's wife and alongside another girl that he was taking pretty seriously at the time. So Mans would have had like 3 women that he really wanted. He just wants more women, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's for the streets, babe. He's for the streets. So Jean asked Max, her husband or whatever. She was like, so this is like the dynamic, and Brad asked me if I wanted to be his girlfriend, and this is how it would go down, this and that. And so they never really, I don't think they ever went through with it, but you know, they were all honest, I guess. But yeah, that was date 1. We were just talking about like the dynamics and all that stuff. And it was like a really easy date 1. It was pretty short because he had to go back to work. Fast forward, we're talking a little bit. Date 2, I drive over to Max's house. Max drives us over to our date. We get like sushi or something like that. And so we're just talking more. He's telling me more about his family stuff. Oh, that's my dog. Alright, so I have 9 minutes and then it's gonna reset because I have to feed him his medicine and I can't forget. So what else? Yeah, he's telling me about this and that. He's telling me about his daughter. Everything was chilling. Like, honestly, like, he's a good guy, but I just didn't get involved because of the messy wife. Like, I told you, honestly, I met Jean before I met Max, but Jean was just honestly too much for me, and I don't want to be involved with any baby mama drama. So when we're on our way to the date, Max shares with me, he's like, oh, like, I have cameras in the house. I don't know why, I don't know, but he had cameras in the house, and he got on tape Jean talking shit about me to her plug boyfriend, saying shit like oh, like, and this man doesn't even know who he's seeing, and she's bald, saying some weird ass shit like, yeah, she's like not even pretty. I don't even know, I don't even really remember, but like she was not happy that I was seeing her man. But meanwhile, she's over here with her little boo thing. She wants to be someone else's she wants to be someone else's girlfriend. Babe, like that's the shit. Like that's too messy. So yeah, so she was just talking shit, and after that I was like, got it, you're fake, Jean. Like you're really pretty, like on the outside, like I'm not gonna lie, she's a beautiful woman, but babe, inside it is ugly. No thank you. And so he shares with me, he's like, yeah, it's a really good idea that you didn't come that night, because, or like, you know, when Max invited me over that first night that I met him, he's like, it's a really good idea that you didn't come over that night, because she would have held that against me, saying that like, oh, you invited her that night, so I can like do whatever the fuck I want now. You know what I mean? So yeah, what else happened with Max and I? Honestly, not much else. Like I said, really good guy, but baby mama drama is just not for me. He was a biker, and she met him through biking or whatever, a part of the posse. I don't know how it worked. I really don't give a fuck. So, and he had like a good job, he had a stable income, and that's the thing, like he was a really good guy, and she was just not treating him well, and that shit, it's like ugly, it really is. And like he works really hard. I guess like a blue collar worker, like you can see that his hands are like dirty, like he gets his hands dirty. What else? And so like I like the way that he treated women, for the most part. Like I liked his morals. He bought her a car. He had like not like a bad car, but like she had the nicer upgraded car or whatever. And she wasn't taking care of him the way that, you know, a wife would or should be taking care of her husband. And so I think one night she drove over to her ex's place, that guy who deals to her, and I think that he picked up that car and he picked up the car, and that was hers, that he gave her, but he, you know, he wanted it back because duh, you don't really deserve it, bitch. Like you really don't. And so mans was just taking a lot, and I feel really bad for him, and I hope he's in a good place, but I really don't know what's up with them, and nor do I really have any desire. I hope he finds someone new. But yeah, here's what you should take away: don't mess with people who do not be on the same substances as you. Don't do it. Not a good look. Mamita, ¿qué quieres? So yeah, just avoid that when you can, and if they have a past with different things, then make sure that they are clean, you know, because you don't want to get yourself involved with anything that's really messy. Let's see what else. Don't make it easy on the guy. Not like how she did. Like, I'm not saying make it hard and make it miserable for him, but I was just going out of my way when I really didn't have to. Like, driving to see him all the time, like, that's really fine. He can come and see me, he can come closer to me. Yeah, that's one story of someone that I was seeing. That's Max and I. And honestly, like, I have no hard feelings against him, but like, it was just not gonna work with her in the picture and her being the way that she is. Like, you're ugly, and I'm not ready to be a stepmama, so good luck, have fun. All right, so that's my advice. What did he look like, for anyone who's interested? He was like a little taller than me. He had tattoos and stuff. He was a little not like, not rough looking, but like a biker guy. Like, you know, they have like a beard and shit. He was dressed up a little bit. He knew how to dress. And he's told me that it's because of Jean that like she improved his fashion sense. But yeah, that's story number one of one of the older guys that I've dated. All right. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the vibe, share your thoughts in the comments, please, and thank you. And yeah, if you want any juicier date stories, you should tell me. All right, Mimi and Matchy are gonna say bye. All right, say bye, Mimi. All right, love pretty girl, and I say goodbye. We love you. Have a good rest of your day, night, evening, day, time, life on earth. Bye. Baby, before I end the video, there's something I want to tell you. So I thought after I filmed, it would be a great idea to go on Facebook and search up Max. So I searched him up on Facebook, and then I sent him a friend request. Guess who got a message from Max? Let me read you our conversation, shall we? Babe, I don't know. I be saying that I'm not interested, and then I just be doing stuff like this, and then it just be taking me other places. So here we go. He texted me at 10 o'clock because I added him super fucking late. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, darling, how the hell you been? Hey, darling, how the hell have you been? Hey, I'm fantastic. How about you? And then he goes into it. I'm really good. Just relaxing at home. Sorry I unfriended you. I dated a woman for a short time. She was super insecure. So I deleted everyone out of respect for her. It obviously didn't work out. LOL. I've actually thought about you here and there. I'm glad you got me up tonight. So what's new with you? And then he sends me his snap so I can add him on Snap because he unfriended everyone. And then he's like, add me back if you want. If not, I understand. And then I said, all good, I understand. Oh, really? Life is always changing for me. Hopefully all is well with you. I prefer catching up over the phone if you're free sometime. I'm getting ready to call it a night. And then he sends me his phone number. Call or text anytime. I'd love to get together soon, sometime. I'd love to get together sometime. And then I said, I'll text you now so you have my number. That would be nice. I think we're still friends on Snap, I said. I looked but didn't see you. That don't mean anything though, haha. I'm not that handy with the socials. That's what he said. And then we're gonna go over to our phone conversation. And I said, hi, it's me. He said, hey, text or call tomorrow once you're up and moving. And I said, okay, if it slips my mind, same goes to you, good night. He said, yes, ma'am, good night, sweet dreams. That's my update for you guys. And there's not going to be another update until, I don't know, a few years later because, yeah, that's usually how I do it. Clink. Time to start a new roster, baby. I thought I was taking a break from dating. Looks like we're back in the game. Bye, baby. Have a good night. Bro, I don't know. But, all right, before I even end it, there are a few things that I forgot to mention in the video that I filmed. So when we were starting to talk or whatever, like we shared what we were looking for, I guess, and I mentioned to him that I was open to polyamory, so seeing multiple people at the same time. He said that he's never done that before, but that he's open to discovering and exploring with me. So it still stands for me. I'm still a little butterfly. A little social butterfly. Let me see what's out there. So we're gonna see. Yeah, you're not gonna be updated for a while, I guess. But in the meantime, if you want to hear any other juicy stories, babe, come on. I know you do. So yeah, that's my little tea for you. Looks like I'm gonna be getting busy again. I need to find. We're adding more people to the roster, okay, babe? Like, duh, but it's like exhausting. Not like exhausting, like so much hard work, but like it's just like to be on top of my shit all the time. Wow, okay. And yeah, that's all I have to say. We're gonna see how it goes. Round 2 with this man. I'm gonna have to tell him how I feel about the kid situation, because we're gonna have to put it out there for the open, because I am not anyone's stepmama. No, no, no. I am your good time. That's what he is to me. He is a good time. I want to be a good time for him. Ta-da! Have a good day. Love you. Goodbye. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the vibe, and share thoughts in the comments. Ciao, amor. Buenas noches.